In 2019, one of the best AI models in the world, GPT-2, struggled to finish a coherent paragraph. It was impressive as a demo, but useless for real work. Just 4 years later, GPT-4 scored higher on lawyers' bar exam than most human applicants. And today, AI isn't just answering questions. It can see, listen, reason step by step, write and debug software, and even take actions on your behalf. 4 years and not decades. That kind of change doesn't happen by accident. So what actually changed? And here's the strange part. Most people didn't see this coming. This wasn't one genius breakthrough, it was something much weirder. We accidentally built a machine that can teach itself to get smarter. And once it crossed a certain line, the speed became uncomfortable. And let me show you why that happened and why there's no real brake pedal. For a long time, AI felt disappointing. Chatbots were dumb, voice assistants barely worked, everything felt brittle and scripted. So everyone, including experts, assumed progress would be slow. But here's what we missed. We were watching AI like anything else, day by day, expecting slow, steady progress. But AI wasn't playing that game. There's this thing that happens to bamboo plants. You plant the seed, water it every day, and for years, nothing. Just dirt. Maybe a sprout if you are lucky. Then one day, seemingly out of nowhere, boom, it shoots up 30 meters in 6 weeks, faster than you can measure. Because underground, the entire time, it was building a root system of massive scale. That's exactly what happened to AI. It didn't just wake up in 2022, it crossed a threshold we didn't even know existed. And suddenly everything that was impossible, that we felt impossible, became real. Okay, let's kill the mystery. Modern AI isn't magic, it's not sentient, it's not thinking. It's doing 3 brutally simple things. First, read everything. Like, read everything. Every book, website, Reddit argument about pineapple on pizza. Second, crunch numbers, trillions of them, across thousands of computer chips running hotter than your laptop during a gaming session. And third, find patterns. Compress all that chaos into something useful. That's it. No secret sauce. But here's the shocking part researchers discovered. If you keep on doubling down data and compute power, the performance doesn't just improve, it improves predictably. Like a recipe. More flour plus more heat gives you bigger cake every time. It's like we found out intelligence isn't this mystical rare thing, it's manufacturable. Imagine this. You teach someone 50 phrases in Spanish. They repeat them robotically. You drop them in Madrid for a year, surrounded by millions of conversations. At some point, they stop translating word by word and start thinking in Spanish. They create sentences they have never heard before. That's what happened to AI. We didn't teach it to reason. We drowned it in so many examples that it had no choice but to figure out reasoning on its own. Alright, stay with me because this is where it gets wild. Before 2017, AI read text like we read a book. One word, then the next, then the next. Which sounds fine, except it created 2 massive problems. First, it forgot stuff. By the time you got to the end of a paragraph, it had already forgotten the beginning. And second, it couldn't scale. You cannot just throw more computers at it and make it faster. Then in 2017, some researchers at Google published a paper called Attention is All You Need. And inside that paper was something called a transformer. Here's the difference. Old AI was like solving a jigsaw puzzle while only looking at one piece at a time, trying to remember what the other pieces looked like. Transformers are like dumping all the pieces on the table and seeing instantly which ones connect. The colors, the shapes, the patterns, everything at once. Boom. Suddenly AI could hold way more context in its head. But here's the real deal. The new design was parallelizable. That means you could actually throw more GPUs at it and it would get 1,000 times faster. So at this stage, software started becoming less of a bottleneck, and the software performance and availability started to take a leading role in developing AI capabilities. Here's something nobody talks about. AI didn't just get smarter between GPT-3 and ChatGPT. It got nicer. Let me explain. GPT-3 was technically incredible, but if you asked it a question, it would just keep writing like a student who doesn't know the answer, so they just fill the page with words and hope for partial credit. It wasn't helpful, it was mechanical. So OpenAI did something amazing and clever. They hired humans to rate answers. Is this response good or bad? Does this sound helpful or robotic? Would you want to read this? They fed all that feedback back into the model. It didn't make it smarter, it made it useful. Same brain, better manners. Then, and this is the key, they wrapped it inside a chat interface, and suddenly the least technical person in your family could use it. Your friend who doesn't get tech could use it. So it felt more natural, more conversational, more human. The perception shift was massive. Same math underneath, completely different experience. That's why AI felt like it went from zero to hero overnight. It didn't. We just finally made it easy to talk to. This is the detail that's hard to ignore. Once AI became useful, I mean genuinely useful, it triggered a loop. And loops, once they start spinning, it's really hard to stop them. And here's how it works. Better AI attracts more users. More users generate more feedback. More feedback creates better training data. And better training makes even better AI. Round and round and round. And this loop is fuel injected by three things. First, money. Billions pouring from every direction.
Investors are really banking on incredible growth. Microsoft, Meta, Alphabet, they are just committing billions and billions of dollars to capital expenditures and expected to continue to, raise those numbers over time.
Second, talent. The smartest people on earth dropping everything to work on this.
OpenAI CEO Sam Altman recently said Meta was offering his employees $100 million pay packages to switch sides.
Third, competition. Google, OpenAI, Anthropic, Meta, all racing each other like it's the space race but with chatbots. Every improvement makes next one faster. Every breakthrough funds 10 more experiments. This isn't hype. This is a self-improving industrial machine. We didn't just build a tool. We built a factory that builds better versions of itself. That's why progress feels relentless, because it is. So let's connect the dots. AI feels impossibly fast because progress compounds like a snowball running downhill, catching up speed and mass. Thresholds matter. Nothing, and then everything. Usability amplifies intelligence. A smart tool that nobody can use is worthless. So for you, the designers, the founders, the builders watching this, here's the move. Don't chase the tools, understand the direction. The base models will keep getting better, faster and cheaper. That's guaranteed. But the real leverage and real opportunity that lies in workflows, how to integrate this into real life. Trust, making people feel safe about it. Judgment, when to use AI and when not to. You need a judgment for that. And then taste, which is the most important thing. AI can generate thousands of options, but it can't tell you which one is beautiful. AI is becoming cheap intelligence. What remains rare is taste, responsibility, and systems thinking. That's where humans still win. That's it from my side. Thank you.